My name is Yudong. I'm 26 years old, born and raised in China. Moved here when I was 15 with my family, and New York was the first city that we came to. As far as I can remember, growing up in China was, how can I say, it was kind of compressed in a way that being yourself wasn't really the case. You kind of have to live a life where everyone else had already planned for you, especially as a Chinese family. I knew what I was from a very early age, but the word homosexuality never came across me until I was in grade school. And one day I was just at home having fun with my sister, and somehow she brought the word up to me in Chinese, which is 同性恋. She asked me, do you know what that is? And I was like, what is that? And she's like, that's when two men or two women like each other and have sex with each other. And at the time, as soon as I heard that, I remember my face just flushed too, so red, because I was just so embarrassed by that in a way, almost like I was stripped naked in front of someone, like she can see right through me. But at the time, I can remember I was trying so hard to avoid eye contact with her because I didn't want her to see the true feelings inside me. I want to say it's very behind doors. Homosexuality in Chinese culture, it's kind of like, as long as it doesn't happen in my family, people seem to be okay with it. It's still a very touchy subject. No one really likes to talk about it. People tend to ignore the existence of it until it happens within the family or around you. That's when people really come to. I remember growing up, I was called a sissy boy a lot, just because sometimes I like to dress in, well, I would pick up my sister's dress and ask my mother why couldn't I wear the dress. And sometimes I'll get called a sissy boy, and they will like slap me, on my hands or something, and just kind of like kicking me out of the thought of it. Just be like, you're a boy, you need to act like a boy. Growing up, I never wanted to be the man they had imagined me to be or they want me to be, because I was never the man who they wanted. In a better word, I would say my mother actually had two daughters instead of just one and a boy. I had always pictured myself to be a girl. Not that I want to go through some transitions or anything. I love the way I am, but I feel like I have a man's body, but a woman's heart. When I was in Alabama, yeah, I had my first boyfriend. I think when I really came out of my own little closet was when I went to college. And to me, that was like a bird breaking out of the cage. I started having an account on AOL, started meeting people, started chatting up with other people, started going out to parties. When I was in Mobile, there was definitely racism within the gay community. I had personal experience. Guys would come up to me and look at me and say, oh, Asian, what are Asians doing here? And I looked at them like, wow, like, aren't we experiencing enough hate already? Why are we still hating each other within our small community? At that time, it didn't really register to me that that being Asian and gay was not allowed. It wasn't really like whether it's allowed or not. It would be an issue. But it seems like to some people there is some issue with that. Mostly from white men. They would look at me and say something to me and give me that look, and then turn their head around and then started giggling. So it was hurtful. Yeah, it was very hurtful to experience that within, something that I thought it was an escape for me. When I came to New York, the gay community, I was hoping that it would be more accepting me being Asian. I had a lot of hopes, especially for New York, because knowing that how open the city is, and how many gays are actually living here, I was very excited to move here. And I remember I was talking to my best friend Matthew, and I was like, oh my God, finally maybe there's a chance I can find a boyfriend, someone who I can have a long-term relationship with. And then after moving here, it kind of bust my bubble a little bit, being that Yeah, I guess racism, it's in everywhere, in all kinds of forms, in all kinds of communities, including the gays. After all these years, I feel like being gay is, instead of seeing it as a disease, I think it's actually the biggest gift that God has ever given up on me. And I was talking to my sister the other day, and I was like, you guys should thank gays for the better world, because we made this world a better place for you to be. And I would tell her that the reason why you dress in a certain way is because the gift that I have. The reason that you're wearing those shoes is because these queer eyes have picked them out for you. So I'm definitely thankful for who I am.